Welcome. This is Barry Jones from the Angel School, and we're here for our weekly angel reading for March the 20th through the 26th, 2017. And so, as we just gather together collectively around the world, I ask you all to join me in centering your mind in your through your heart, and I just ask you to really just let everything go and listen to your angels guidance, their messages through your heart. Don't try to make sense of the words. Listen to your heart, the vibrational language. That's the communication before things translate into words. This is where God speaks first. So listen with your heart, but don't try to make sense of the meaning of this vibration with your mind that wants to that needs to have words to define what that is. Let the words sort of surface from this point of connection for yourself. And just take some really deep breaths. And as we're beginning, God is coming through, and He's showing me a tree with a very thick trunk, and the trunk of the tree always represents the connection. The branches are always thick, the foliage, because that represents the collective consciousness. But for the first time, I'm seeing bushes around this tree, and so there is a sense that there are that you're in a being called into your role of leadership, and that somehow others are going to be growing around you, are going to be focusing or centering around you, seeking to grow. So, and be nurtured by your wisdom, by your skills, by your um, your purpose and your service. So I in my meditation, I'm just sensing something really huge. I saw they wrote people as I was meditating, and I really felt like something in the world is happening with all of us. They wrote peace, and what it just feels like to me is that some major shift is happening in terms of our purpose. Um, that this is almost a major activation period of our purpose, and you're ready. I mean, it's all there within you, and it's going to really start to become somehow clearer. And even though on the earth plane, there may be all of these things sort of happening that are, you know, sort of um, sort of a catalyst for this. But don't be distracted by the things that occur that seem to maybe clash. Um, the contrast. Don't be distracted by the contrast. Okay, but the contrast is going to create a major awakening, and they are so some of you're going to start to see people beginning to really seek out their the meaning of their souls. They're going to be really um, is sensing that there's something more. It's almost like the first cracking of the egg, where the shell that they've been in, this insulation, that the shell cracks and the light starts to shine through. And what is going to emerge is that and this is sort of like the veil of illusion that's been sort of keeping us up, because I just saw God when I said the crack. And what's going to be, every soul is going to find is the God that that the illusion of the ego has caused them to fear, and in some way have been running away from. And so there's a sense of people are going to start to become their intuition, their spiritual missions, their purpose, is going to start to really um, come to them, call to them is a better way of, of saying that. It's going to really start to call to them. And they wrote out the word legions, and I'm not quite sure, but it feels like that this is going to happen in legions. Legions of people are going to start to have this experience where the crack in the veil of illusion is going to um, allow that light of God to shine through. And so the shadows of the ego, just reflecting that fear back and forth, and which has kept each one of us in a cycle, and then has kept us as a world in a cycle of the illusions of the ego, that when that shell cracks and that light of God comes through, that light is going, and they're showing me the witch, which is my symbol for you coming into your spiritual power and spiritual alchemy. So you're really going as this cracks, this breakthrough happens, and maybe we're moving, or the veil of illusion is really thinning, and cracks is going to start to come through the veil of illusion. That we're going to start to really step into our power, and we're going to really see how the powerful creators that we are in terms of manifestation. And I really feel like that this whole year with Archangel Ariel showing up in a lot of our readings is such a huge indication of this. I've felt it with him and seen it within my own life. So the thing is, don't judge is what they're showing me. They were showing me like a gavel with a judge, and then it turned into a cross. And so the thing is, don't judge what's happening. Don't judge the changes that are occurring for you. Don't judge anything. Don't make up your mind is one way they're saying it. Don't make up your mind about how this is all going to turn out, because we're stepping into infinite possibilities. We have no idea of what's really beyond the veil of illusion. We have no idea. So don't start speculating about how powerful this is all going to be. Allow yourself to be curious. Stay open. Keep noticing what happens, okay? And there's something that just wrote out apologies. Like, I don't know, it's like I felt like they were saying, stop making apologies to God, okay? Because this is very painful for you. You have to, they write out faithful. You have to have faith that God loves you, that he didn't stop loving you. So you don't need to apologize, because he never stopped loving you. He never was dissatisfied with you. He, although we were insulated in this shell and cycling illusions and fears, God never saw you as less, as he's writing out, imperfect as you were made. Okay? whatever happens in that shell, God understood it was not what he created. And he knew and remained committed to knowing you from your truth, not from the things that you did or didn't do. Okay? He remains faithful always to seeing you in your true form. And he's right at the word gold in that symbol for me, your healed form. You have always been healed. You've never really been sick. You've never been a sinner to him. You've never been someone who has fallen short of the glory of God, as some have spoken on pulpits. This has never been what he has seen in you. So stop apologizing to him, because he's saying this diminishes your power. It diminishes your connection to him. And it has kept the veil of illusion cycling. It's what held up this shell. But because when I saw it today, when I usually call in the people who are going to be watching your higher self, but the people of the world came to me. And so we're collectively now on our higher self level embracing our spiritual power and no longer the veil of illusion. And when we no longer give it meaning by cycling these apologies, things like this, and these negative thoughts and feelings of not deserving, like when we were talking about in the previous weeks, don't keep thinking that you have to become what you love. But like for instance, you trying to love yourself better. You can't do that, because you were created as that, and your origin of creation is love. So therefore you already are that. You have to acknowledge, and the only way to acknowledge it is to honor it by listening to your heart. Otherwise you're chasing your own tail. You're chasing an illusion. And that's what keeps us in that cycle of fear and the ego's survival mode. And we are moving away from the survival mode into thriving. And the only way to do that is that you have to see yourself the way that God has been committed to seeing you without ceasing in doing so. He's been consistent. He's never blinked, coughed, had a relapse, okay, and saw you as one. He's never seen you as your pain. He's shown me a cross, and for some reason, it's something like we keep putting ourselves up on that cross, and it's a source of our suffering and pain. But he's showing this person holding a star, a 5-pointed star, and it represents the power. It's like the tarot card, the Eight of Swords. She has her hands tied, but she has one hand free. She couldn't get herself out of it. You've always had the power to take yourself off that cross. And in a way, that's what Jesus demonstrated. All right. And so, and you've always had the power to do that. So get up off the cross, stop punishing yourself, and start living. Start focusing on and giving yourself credit for being who you are. If you want to, whatever it is you want to be, stop trying to become it and start doing anything, any baby steps towards it that allows you to start doing it so that you feel the experience of it. Don't keep thinking about what do you need to do next in order to become that somehow better or more. Be where you are right now and do, and before you know it, you just are. And it's not about wishing and wanting. It's about feeling and experiencing and expressing. That's when you are, no matter what stage you are, whether you're at the very, very beginning or the end, all that is just ego. This idea of quantifying or qualifying everything. Just do, okay? We are beings. So that means be about the action. And now this is a time of action. Things are coming to you. You're getting clarity. Trust your soul. I know it's scary. Some of these really powerful urges that you're being inspired with, and you go, "Oh, that can't be me. Oh my God." Wait, I need something more. I like it's like when you're getting dressed and you have this really great date, and you just can't accept the fact that you're beautiful. And you keep telling yourself, no, I need to go out and buy this. No, I need to go out. I got to put on this. No, no, let me change my hair like this. Or let me put this on. Or let me put these shoes on. I mean, guys, we do it too. So that kind of attention towards yourself is critical. It's criticism. It's judgment. Stop doing that because you are beautiful already. So don't get in the mirror and try to make yourself look better with the idea that you're not good enough. When you get ready, start with the premise that you are good enough, and what you're doing, what you're putting on, or what you're doing to yourself is to express that which you already are. See the difference there? Really powerful stuff here. Okay? So, and they draw my attention back because they want you to understand what we were talking about earlier about, because there are a lot of people who have a lot of ideas, even in the spiritual community, about what it's going to be like, what that time of peace is going to be like. And I want to tell you very clearly, there is no such thing as there will never be contrast in the world. Do you understand that it's the contrast, that cause and effect, that allows you to keep creating? That's what we're here for. But what's going to be interesting about it is when your higher self has the helm, is in is running the show. Your perspective about all the contrasts is vastly different, meaning how you respond to it rather than reacting to it. They will inspire insights for you to mold, because you're a creator, to mold with the universe these tools that are helping you to define your purpose and yours in the service and how you want to live in a joyful way. I would like to have a little bit more time to say that more clearly, but in good times and bad times, there's always good and bad, I hate to use that, but contrast happening. But you notice that when you're really feeling good and you're inspired and you have something that you're passionate about in your life, and when a problem happens, you don't freak out about it. You just say, "Oh yeah, I know who I can talk to," because you're hearing guidance telling you, go talk to so and so and they'll help you with that. And you just hear the solutions, but you don't think for a moment, "Oh, God is giving me the solutions." But when things are going wrong and when you're coming from that end of the stick, then when there are good things around you, but when you see them, you're like, "Oh my God, I'm afraid of that. I don't know what to do. How am I gonna?" And those are good things. So see, good and the negative things always happening. But if you're in ego land, you're freaked out about good and the bad, and it gets worse. And when you're in source land, you see it all. You see opportunities with all of it. You know how to take the good and the bad and take it and make it to what you want. Like my grandmother she used to say, take what you got and make what you want. And when you're in that source mode, that's how you live it. That's how you enjoy life. So one is survival and the other one is thriving. But the contrast is still there. That's peace. When you are responding to life like this through source consciousness. When you don't see negative as a negative, but you see it as a way to take it and mold it to your own desire your own truth. All right? Or you can put it in service to others. All right, let's take a look at the theme of the week, this card. And look at that, peace. Archangel Chamuel. And Archangel Chamuel's name means he who sees God. So this is all about perspective. Peace, the concept that we have a peace. Peace is a perspective. So when that egg cracks, when the veil cracks, when that light shines through, your perspective is going to change. And that is the peace. And that's why they don't want you to start making up your mind. Don't judge it about how it's going to turn out. Even the words we just gave you. Approximation. Because our universe, our source consciousness is always expanding and is leading edge in every sense of that word. So the potential is beyond the potential you've imagined. You see? And so don't make up your mind, because that's the ego loves to have a fix. Like, it wants to know how this is going to happen and narrow it down, narrow, limit the choices, and you start looking specifically in directions instead of looking everywhere and having more choices. Like God has always given you more choices. He doesn't give you one person to love you, a soulmate, one great opportunity to get it right, to get a job right, to get that idea. No, you can be happy with so many things. And that's why you've been fighting yourself. Because some of you, like most of us, there's a lot of things that we love and a lot of things that we could do. And we spend all of our time going, oh my God, I don't know what to do. Like, I want to do this, but if I do that, but then I'm going to not be able to do that. And you're trying to be somebody that you're not. You're trying to limit yourself when you are divine, and you don't have to limit anything. You really can do it all. You really can have the time. But the thing is that because we spend so much time resisting, worrying, it makes us tired. And it makes us feel like time is limited. It makes us feel like we won't have the energy to get it all done. But watch the children. That's why they don't get sleepy, because they run from pleasure to pleasure to pleasure. The early ones, they run from pleasure to pleasure. And that's why they can go all day like that and not need a nap. And you can barely get them in the bed. And you think they're bad kids because you can't get them to go to sleep. They are divine. That's why Jesus said you must be like a little child, right? In order to enter the kingdom of heaven, because heaven is bliss. And we keep coming up with ways to make us feel that we don't deserve that bliss. So we tell ourselves, but no, that's too good for me. I can't do that. See what I mean? So if you just start going for everything that comes to you, and you just play. Don't worry about how you're gonna get to play, how you're gonna get over there. Just play. Just experience, express, do, be. And you will have all kinds of energy to do all those things. So we've been lying to ourselves, trying to limit ourselves. We are expansion itself, infinite expansion. That's why you have so many gifts. You keep trying to find a life purpose, the career, and it feels wrong every time, because you are much more than that. And you feel bad. Why you feel bad is because you don't have a soulmate partner. The reason you feel bad because you keep thinking that there's only one, and every time you meet somebody, and you see why you keep meeting different people. Because there are many opportunities. It's all the truth is in your face, but your ego keeps lying to you. And as you go out, you keep sitting there, all these people are looking at you, and you don't even see them because you're not looking, and you're in ego land. And the universe is handing you so many different opportunities, and you're saying to yourself, I've probably messed up. You're thinking about that person that you lost and the regrets you had, and you're saying, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that, and now I'm going to be alone. Ego. Stop that, people. Okay? Do you hear me about this? Because I'm just hearing this really and truly more for the first time. We have been living in an unnatural way, the rules of our society and the way that we think culturally, it has been anti our spirit. And that's what's made us at our core that feeling of disquiet within ourselves. Embrace it all. Embrace who you truly are. Get up off that cross, as they're saying. All right. Powerful message. Not the message of peace we were expecting, but a whole new definition of what that peace is. When you follow your bliss, you will have peace. And here we have the Queen of Michael, which we had at the end of our daily card readings. And the Queen of Michael, the Queen of Swords, comes up because this is someone who is a no nonsense. She's a nurturer but no nonsense, and she gets to the chase. Okay, so there's going to be in this week a clarification for you. Let's just say it like a TI is a cutting through the BS kind of week is the way the energy is going to start off. And that is not a bad thing. It's not a negative thing. When you are able to read, like she can read your mind, the queen and she can see and read your mind and read exactly what's on your heart. She knows what your purpose is, but she sees the stuff that's going on inside your mind. So in this week, somehow, you are going to be having this experience within yourself where you're going to start to notice how your heart, your mind are talking two different things. And that what's going on in your mind is what's creating all of this rockiness, because those things, those thoughts in your head are lies in contrast to what your heart is telling you. And that you're going to somehow be able to clear that, like take that top layer off so that your heart's true message comes through. So that's why they wanted you to listen with your heart but not with your mind in that meditation. So go back at the beginning when you have a chance and really focus on that, what they were saying at the beginning of that message. All right, so let's just go along here and take a look at the middle of the week. And I knew we were going to have a lot of Michael cards because he came up in the meditation, my personal meditation before this reading and this one very strongly. Archangel Michael is about integrity. So what's going to happen, what's going to crack that shell is truth and that light coming through. So this is going to be a week about you standing in integrity, being aware for the first time of your own BS and the BS all around you that's been created in the collective consciousness, and throwing that out. This card reminds me of my mother. She was she would throw everything out. If you left it, it was like you didn't care about it. It didn't belong there. She knew where everything belonged. And she kept an immaculate home. And if she didn't allow anybody to deter her, to compromise her belief systems. So this is another thing of that's going to clear up for you the things that no longer would, those compromises that you've been making. You're gonna see yourself and recognize that those compromises you can no longer make, that you can no longer compromise your own heart. And so as the middle of the week goes on, there is a sense of relief here with this Six of Michael, a sense of relief, a clarity that opens up, a transition, as you can see. You're moving out of a storm and moving on your way to this clear place. And so this card is representing some kind of transition, a move, a shift in perspective that they were talking about at the beginning. So some of you, this card I'm getting may really have to do with you relocating or making some huge changes. So some of you may have some job things come up that may relocate you, or a change in your position. For some of you, this may be a change in career. Um, just changes that are coming from your heart that are putting you on your purpose. Okay? And so be open to what these changes are. Or this card, some of you may not even have to really do anything. These transitions are just going to start to happen, whether they're physical or mental. Even I'm getting a sense of something about health. That some of you may just have some transitions in terms of how you are dealing with your health. Like some of you have just been like being a victim about your health and just got really crazy about it, and overwhelmed with a lot of fear, and just saw your health circumstances as this control over you, and you're going to get some kind of peace of mind. Your perspective is going to shift, and you're going to start to feel powerful, and that's when you're going to heal, because the only way to heal is to know that you are, and to start acting like it. And I know I may be oversimplifying that, but when it hits you, you're going to get this in the way that you're going to get it. Okay? All right, let's take a look at the card for the end of the week. Another Michael card. So, all right, this card here, what I'm kind of hearing from them is this is usually about worrying, but this card says unnecessary worry. Okay, so you're going to see, and you're saying, "Oh my God, this is getting bad." No, it's not, because what they're telling you is that by the end of the week, you're going to see how the stuff that you do that just is like absurd. And we're really normally don't talk to you like this, but we have to be this way this time, because it's gonna be sort of humorous, as the Queen of Michael, the card here says. See, this card is running this whole week. This week is going to be insightful to you. You're going to look back at yourself, and with some of the things that you've done when you were just insulated in ego, and you're just going to be able to laugh at these things. And one of the things is how you just worry over the least little things instead of focusing on what gives you joy. Like the children, they focus on what gives them joy. You say something, they cry, and they move on. Somebody does something to you, you fall on your knees and find it very difficult to get up because you can't get over what they did, instead of focusing on what makes you feel good and moving forward. So they just keep showing me that this is about you. Although this card doesn't look, but you're gonna really step into your power. They're showing me sort of a celebration. I'm seeing my witch hat with I call them the alchemists, with instruments, and it's like a celebration here, and they're showing me a broom, where they're sweeping, moving things, and I get a sense of because the broom is not just clearing out stuff, but it's a form of, it's going to be magical. It's going to like be healing. The things that you release, the things that you sweep away, that you surrender, you move out, you are moving energy and then allowing new energy to come in its place. So as you sweep out energy this week, call upon the angels, especially Archangel Michael, to clear out that energy for you and to replace it with divine energy, healing energy. You can think of asking to place with colors like the cobalt blue or gold energy. Put it in its place. When you let something go, you must put something in its place. Okay, divine energy. Make sure that you do that. But a lot of this is going to happen. You're just going to see all this stuff. You just need to cut it out, and get rid of it. And when you do, ask the angels, Archangel Michael, and the angels to fill in that energy wherever the energy was released, to fill it in with divine love, gold light, violet flame, anything that comes to you. They're showing me an apple, And they're saying that this is going to be a powerful week of lessons, tools, and they're writing number 8. And I get a sense that when these things that you release, you're going to see that energy, what it gets replaced with is energy of abundance, is what the angel number 8 represents. So this is either going to be insights, ideas marked by this suit, and it could also mean finances, prosperity. Okay, like people communicating to you things that you've been opportunities, helping you to maybe connecting you with a job or getting a call back about a job opportunity. Like so, big week of communication and opportunities here. All right, let's take a look at the card, and this is a good one. And I was seeing Archangel Gabriel as well, and so here is that card that tells us that message we got earlier about the leadership role. Because the King of Gabriel Wands is someone who sees the bigger picture. They are a visionary. They can imagine, and they can see like God sees you. He sees your truth, your best, and then he puts it to work. He puts the things around you that would make you whole, but it's free will, right? So it's your job to see it. But here this card is saying is that you are going to see it because the shifts that are going to happen. But most importantly, your spiritual work, no matter what kind of work you do, is that you're going to be able to help support others to hold that vision for them until they can see it themselves, not forcing it upon them, but you will, in a compassionate way, always help them be this sustaining property. You're holding the space of light for them, and be able to keep inspiring them when they veer off. Okay, and likewise, this is something that you should be doing for yourself. All right, focus on, is it right now, happiness. Focus on your happiness. Don't waste time on the negative. Focus on what makes you happy. Remember the children. They play from pleasure to pleasure to pleasure to pleasure. And it's very hard for them to grow weary and tired by the end of the day. You have to force them into sleep because they're so full of energy. It reminds me of a African-American spiritual sit-down servant. And it says, sit down, servant. And the servant said, I can't sit down. Sit down, servant. I can't sit down. Sit down, servant. I can't sit down. Why? Because my soul's so happy that I can't sit down. And if you follow your bliss, play like the early children do, you will feel the same. And the troubles of the world, as another spiritual say, would be done. It says sooner would be done with the troubles of the world. You'll be done with dealing with it from a trouble perspective and start dealing with it from a perspective of opportunity. So this is what is in reach in your hands this week. Don't fight. Don't fight it. Don't fight it. Okay? Let it be. Let it be. Let yourself be. Be yourself. Be you. Don't try to be like the world. That's what's making you unhappy. You keep looking at this box that the world has created, this little tiny box, and you know you don't fit in that box. You know you can never be happy. You try, but it doesn't work. So let it go. And be you. Fling that box open, knock down every side of that box, and don't ever let anybody else put another box there for you to try to step into. Which the only way you can do that is stop looking for love in all the wrong places. Stop looking at everybody else's life and trying to be like them. Try to be like you. And you say to yourself, well, I don't know how to be like me. Good. That's the best place to start. What you don't know means that you're wide open to know something. So be curious. God bless you all. Thank you for your comments. I didn't announce, I forgot that my birthday had just passed on March 17th. And it was a wonderful week. And thank you all for those on Facebook, who is where I did announce it. And this card came up. And I know it was like a hello from my mother. So when I see this card. So thank you all for the birthday wishes there. And thank you for your comments on the videos on YouTube last week. Thank you all for joining us here every week. If you haven't subscribed, please do to the channel so you'll get the messages, the videos, announcements. And also, if you're looking for an angel reading, you can go to my website, theangelschool.com, where you can sign up on the services page. You can find that in the description link below. If you haven't gone to our Facebook page yet, you really should. It's really exciting. I'm excited every week, every day when we do it. I do them Monday through Friday. You can find that in the description link below as well. The Facebook page. You can also find us through Twitter for the videos and the daily card messages. So have an awesome week, and I'll see you next week. God bless you, and don't be afraid of your power.